everyone, a very warm welcome back to the channel, and we are back on the Puma. This will be part 4 now. Now the front end still isn't quite finished, but while we're waiting for the air conditioning O-rings to turn up, I want to start on the repair on this seal. Now I had already cut this out before my YouTube channel started, so we are kind of already into it as such, but I'll show you. I've got the panel that I cut out and I've got the panel that I made, which was from a totally flat piece of steel. So I'm quite chuffed with the way it's come out actually. I've made a shape up and obviously bent it in the vise with some angle iron and made a panel, a repair panel for myself. Now this bit of rust on the seal, it's just down here, I'll show you in a second. That actually started inside the door shut from a bit of grit getting stuck underneath the kick plate, and obviously as the doors opened and shut over the years, rubbed the paint away. Now, a bit daft I know, but I didn't attend to it at the time, and it's obviously got worse and worse until we got to the stage it's at now. So let me get the camera and I will show you what we've got and where we're at on the seal repair so far, and show you the panel that I've made. We need to try and get that welded in if we can tonight. That'd be a nice bit of progress to keep things moving. Let's crack on. Rightio, as you can see, this is the piece I've cut out, which would normally fit in there. You can see the corrosion on it is fairly spread out. You can see it on the camera, all right. It's just got a hole in the middle where obviously I've tapped it with a hammer and it's gone straight through. So that's the bit that I've cut out, and this is the bit that I've made. So you can see the two together there, fairly similar. I'm quite chuffed with the way that this has obviously got a little bit of surface rust on this since I made it, but it's obviously all new steel, as you can see. The profile looks pretty good compared to the old one. So hopefully, once we get that in there, that should do the job pretty nicely with any luck. So we need to get some magnets, hold that in there where it needs to go, and start welding. Let's crack on. Okay, as you can see there, look, we've got 2 magnets holding that on. This is actually looking at it from inside the door shut now with the door open. So you can see it all lines up pretty nicely. So what I think I will do to start off with, I'll get a tack in each corner in the top here. Then I'll get the door closed and I will go underneath and get a couple of tacks in each corner under here. And then, same as I did on the Fiesta panel, just take it nice and slow. A little tack here and there to keep the heat down and the distortion down, and hopefully that should weld in quite nicely. So let's do that. Rightio, this has taken an absolute age just to get this tacked in like this, but obviously it's quite critical that I get all the curves lined up as best as I can. Now it's not bad actually, it's all right on the top half. The bottom underneath here is okay. I've had to lip this panel that I've made inside the bottom of the seal by about 1 mil, maybe 2 mil max, and that corner over there is the worst corner as far as the gap's concerned. But other than that, it's not too bad. Obviously I'll have to pull this out slightly when I weld it. I'll try and get a little tiny pick in there or something just to pull the panel out very slightly to make it so there's no gap there when I weld it. So basically I'm going to carry on right the way around the panel like that. It's going to take a long while, so I'm not going to film it because otherwise you'll be asleep by the time I finish. So let's carry on welding this, and hopefully we will be in luck and get it all round. Let's crack on. Rightio, I've just received this in the post today. This is the O-ring assortment for the air conditioning seals for the Puma, so we can finally get on with this front end. We'll have a little break from welding the seal up for a minute and crack on with this and see if we can get it back together so I can get some of my garage back as far as parts not being everywhere. It's always a bonus. Let's get these on. Okay, as you can see there, we've got quite a nice assortment of different sizes in there. These are the tools that you have to use to take the pipes apart in the first place. Now I did already push the top condenser pipe back on, but I have actually taken it back off again, and I've replaced the 3 O-rings on this one as well. So we've got 3 new O-rings on there, which goes onto this pipe here. We've got 2 new O-rings on the bottom of the condenser there, which will allow this pipe to then go onto there. So I want to give that a little bit of lubrication, WD-40, and we'll get those pushed on, and then we can start looking at the bumper. Let's crack on. Rightio, as you can see, bumper is now on for the final time, hopefully. Fingers crossed it's the final time anyway. I've spent a real long time, didn't bother re-filming it because you've already seen me put the bumper on once, but this took me a very long while to get everything adjusted right so that I could get the gaps the best they could possibly be. I'm pretty pleased. You can see, look at the underneath between here and the bumper and the bonnet, each side is even, nice and close. You can see that the wing gap is pretty acceptable. I've touched in the chips on that side of the bumper. Bear in mind that that wing has got a small ding in it, as I said in a previous video. You can just see it on the wheel arch just there. So it was a little bit difficult to get it to line up with that, obviously, because it isn't necessarily quite the right shape. You can see the bonnet is sitting nice and flat. Gaps are nice. I've got the wing all bolted on at the back now. Gaps are nice all around the wing too. You'll see I've got it up in the air at the moment on axle stands, and I've got both the front arch liners out. You can see this side, although this side of the bonnet's not polished, again the gap's nice and uniform. And it's the same story. Obviously I haven't had this wing off this side, but you can see the bonnet to the wing to bumper gap is pretty good as well. So next step now, I think, is either going to be to get the new arch or new second-hand arch liners that I've got back in, and then we can get the headlights in and the grille. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. Sorry, I'm jumping over things in the garage because, as usual, it's a total mess in here. So yeah, it's looking all right. We've got that bottom grille to go in, the centre rad grille, the headlights, some coolant, and then we should be about there, hopefully, as far as the front end goes. Anyway, we've got the aircon pipes all back together. They just literally push fit, so I didn't bother filming that because obviously you don't need to see that. You saw the new seals that I put on in the previous clip. One thing I have got to sort out on this wing, the wiring for the side repeater. It's not damaged, but for whatever reason one of the pins in the plug has pushed itself back, so it's not making a connection inside the plug. So I've got to, I'll just show you that quickly. I've got to sort that out so that obviously it makes a connection. This little plug here, probably can't see it inside there, but one of the pins is where it should be and the other one's pushed right back. So I've got to take that apart and try and sort that out. So yeah, we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we are getting there. It has taken a while, this car. I know it has. Life gets in the way sometimes. Oh, another thing I've done is, as you can see on the headlights here, I've glued these sealing strips back on both the headlights, that one and that one. So they're on again now. I used some Worth Bond and Seal, so it's a bit flexible. Give it a little bit of flex so it won't hopefully be brittle in the cold weather and won't snap. There's the arch lines that are going to go in a minute. So yeah, let's crack on. That's one arch liner in. Passenger side, new bolts. It's all been jet washed before I put it in and let it dry, so it's all nice and dry and clean. Looks pretty good. I haven't put the mud flap back on yet. You can see that down there on the floor. I want to give that a bit of a clean up first, and there's a couple of marks I want to flatten and polish off the corner of that wing where the mud flap rubbed on it. So I'm going to do that before I put the mud flap on. So this, now I'm going to go over to the other side and sort that plug out for the side repeater, and then we can get the driver's side arch liner in. Let's crack on. Rightio, we're right on the driver's side now, and on this side you have to put the washer tank in first. Now this isn't fixed in completely yet, as you can see it's loose. It does bolt through the back side of the wing when you open the door. There's two studs actually mounted on the tank which go through two holes in the back of the wing, so I need to get the actual car out to bolt that in. I can't open the door wide enough in here to get to the nuts, but that is in there anyway. It's in the holes. And one thing that we have got to replace is this, which is the sensor which tells you when the washer fluid is low. For whatever reason this one is packed up. It just says that it's low all the time and the light stays on all the time on the dash. So I have got a new one here which is turned up in the post. Unfortunately couldn't get a Ford one, but I've got a Phoebe Bilstein one which is hopefully a good make. Hang on a second, I'm just trying to get it out of the box. There we go. It's the same, looks the same to me, apart from the fact that one's got a lead on and one hasn't. So I'm hoping that the plug will just push straight on the end of that We'll find out in a second. Not sure whether it's the same plug actually. Let's have a look. Actually no, it's not. It's not the same plug. That's a bit annoying. Okay, we may have to do a little bit of modification here then. Either that or I'll try cleaning the old one up maybe and see if that works. And put it back together with that one for now, so we can carry on putting the car back together, because obviously I can't put the arch liner back in without that being done. So I'll come back to you in a sec. Let's crack on. Okay, I've cleaned this up on this contact in here best I can. I don't know if it's going to work or not, to be honest with you, but we're going to put it back in for now because I don't want to faff around trying to modify this other one because it's not right. And get it back together. If it doesn't work, obviously we'll have to revisit this later on once I get it out on the drive maybe, or whatever. We can get under here quickly and just swap it out if we need to. I want to get it off these axle stands, so I can bolt that washer bottle back in, and to do that I want to get the arch liner back in. So we're going to do that. We're just going to go with it for now. That just basically pushes into that hole in there. You'll see it going like that, and then you have to sort of bend it straight and just basically push it into that rubber hole like that. There we go, simple as that. Also got the washer pump, obviously that's already in the bottle there, that's plugged in. Sorted out the side repeater, that's working now, and obviously the hoses are connected for this, for the washers front and rear. So now we can get the arch liner on this side, and while it is up in the air I may do another little job underneath which I'll show you in a minute. Let's carry on. There we go, second arch liner in. Don't have to tidy it up when you get that in there. It looks really nice, especially when it's all clean. It's like this carpet material, it does get dirty, obviously the dirt sticks to it, but once it's clean it does look nice. All new bolts again on this side. So now I may either do the mud flaps next, or I'm going to do, there's a mount which I want to change underneath on the back of the gearbox, which has been, I think it's been going for a while because I've been getting a lot of vibration under acceleration even before any of this happened, so I want to change that. I've got another one for it, so maybe we'll have a look at that. Let's carry on. Rightio, this is the mount in question. This is a dog bone mount which bolts to the back of the gearbox and obviously up into the body. Now when you rock the engine you can see there's a fair bit of movement in this bush here. I don't know how much it's supposed to have, but it does seem a little bit excessive. There's nothing obvious wrong with that bush as far as I can see, apart from the fact that it's done 100,000 miles, and I managed to get another one second hand which came out of a 16,000 mile car. So I'm going to change it just for a matter of course to try and sort out and eliminate part of the issue. So we've got one bolt here and one bolt going through here. They're both I think 13 mils. So we'll zap those off, compare the new one to the old one, and put the new one on. Let's carry on. as you would have seen in that bit of time lapse, I was having a hell of a job trying to get this bolt undone. It kept rounding off, and wherever I tried, it wouldn't have it. I put some heat on it, which I think helped, and now it's undone. But it was with the aid of another tool, which is an extractor set. If you haven't got one, they're very good for round-off bolts. That's what's inside. You can see that in the light there. It's basically like a sort of toothed socket set, which bites into the nut if it's slightly rounded. So I just tapped this on, not with much force, just to get it so that it was sort of all the way on and bottomed out, and with a little bit of welly, it came off, which was lucky because I thought I was going to be stuck here for a minute. So that should be our bolt out now, and obviously you can't get anything too massive in this gap. Even the socket won't come out with it on there. I have to pull the engine forward slightly to get the. There you go. So that's out now. So I may have to try and find a replacement for that. Now probably the reason it was like that is, I don't know if you can see it on camera there, but it's corroded on that thread, which is obviously where the alley in this mount is gone a bit manky. There's the mount. Look, easy as that. And that is what I assume the problem is. It's not. It doesn't look to be cracked or anything like that, or split. It's just got a lot of play in it. But as I say, it has done a lot of miles. So here's the replacement one. Find it. There's the replacement, which obviously that's one side, that's the other. Slightly different actually in the middle. Bit of weight saving to put extra holes in it. But this one, I'm hoping it's still got movement in it, but it feels a bit more solid. So I'm hoping that's going to be a bit of an improvement on the old one. So basically we've just got to do a reverse of what I've just done and put that one on. So let's crack on. There we go, another little job ticked off the list. New mount on there. Let's see what the movement's like now. I haven't tried this yet actually, I just thought I'd have a little. It does seem better, not as much movement in the engine now. Don't know if you can see that on camera, virtually nothing on it. So hopefully that will have sorted out my judder on acceleration really. Like I have already changed the drive shafts because I thought the drive shafts were at fault. And it did improve it quite a lot, but it's still there very slightly. Now also, as you can see under here, over there, that heat shield has been a bit battered by my off-roading incident, shall we say. So we're going to need to sort that out as well at some point, but I think for the minute we're going to get back on the top side and finish off this front end and get the headlights in and get the coolant in, run it up, get the fan, make sure the fan kicks in and out alright, and get the grills in, and then we can carry on with that welding on that sill over there, because I still haven't finished that yet. Let's carry on. What do you think of that then? To say I'm chuffed is the understatement of the year. I did not think I'd see this Puma looking like this again. I honestly didn't. You saw in that time lapse there, obviously the headlights and grills going in, and everything lined up lovely. Well pleased. Need to sort that bonnet out, polish the other half of that, don't I? But oh, I'm so chuffed. It looks the nuts. Looks really good. Really good. I suppose we'll do a bit of a light check now and make sure that it's all still working. But as far as panel gaps and things fitting and everything else, I'm chuffed. I am really chuffed. It's all right. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm quite surprised with myself, if I'm honest. So yeah, let's do a little light check on it and make sure that everything's working all right. Right then. Put this on. And next to the battery would help, wouldn't it? Oh, he's connected to that battery. Need to get a battery charger hooked up. Right, let's try again. Battery charger's on now. See if we've got lights. So that should be side lights. 1, 2, yeah. Headlights. 1, 2, lovely. Main beam. 1, 2. Indicators. Not got an indicator this side. Okay, look at that. Indicator that side. Yep. So apart from this indicator, we're all good. Let's have a little look at why that's not working. The indicator out, and as you can see, I think that bulb has seen better days. So I should have a new one in my stash. Let's have a look. There we go. New bulb fitted, all working. So that is a full set. Hell yeah! Okay, we're back on the seal on the welding, and I wasn't very happy with the way this was fitting underneath this side here. So I've actually undone these welds, these tack welds that I've done along here, and I've just had a little prise with a little small screwdriver, and I can actually get it so that both those panels do line up nicely, and that also makes the curve here better as well. Obviously if you get in there and you can get the curve pretty much bang on the sides here as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little fiddle around with this, get it so that it's level in a section, put a tack on it and work my way along like that, rather than it overlapping like I had it before. I wasn't happy with the way it was overlapping, and I knew this panel was made to fit. I made it the right size to fit properly. So like I said, I'm going to go along with the little screwdriver, get the panels level, tack it as I go. That'll keep the heat down, and then hopefully it'll make a nicer job of it then. And obviously then I can seam weld it all the way around. Got to sort this little corner right here, which has got a little bit of a kick in it, which I'll have to tap that back once I've got this bit tacked on, because obviously and then that'll give that some strength there for me to tap against. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll do that, get it tacked on, and then I'll come back and show you. Let's carry on. Okay, as you can see there, I've now got this panel totally flush with the original. Tacked it all the way along. I've also put a tack in each side now, halfway along to hold the shape. It has improved the gaps on the two corners as well. It's still a little bit big on that corner, but that's nothing that the weld won't bridge. That'll be fine. So now I'm going to spend a long time probably going along this, doing a couple of tacks, leaving it and so on, to obviously keep the heat down, because I don't want to start distorting the panel. Now I've managed to get it to fit how I want it to. So I'm going to carry on with that, and once it's welded all the way around, I'll come back to you. See you in a minute. Rightio, as you can see there, got this seam welded right the way around, all the way around the bottom there now. Now I need to open the door and carry it on along the inside. Now this took me a fair while, simply for the reason I didn't want to get it too hot. So I dotted the welds along, and then gradually filled in the gaps. And I used a cloth which is soaked in water to cool it down every 3 or 4 welds. So it kept the panel so it was touchable, if that makes sense. It wasn't too hot. So obviously make sure if you do that, then you use a wet cloth on it, make sure it's dry again before you start welding, because otherwise you don't want to be getting involved with water and welding. It'll never go well. So yeah, really pleased with that. Pleased with the way it's come out, pleased with the fit. Once that's all ground back flat, that'll be good. So we need to open the door now, carry on around the top side of the plate, and then we'll be somewhere near all the welding being complete, fingers crossed. Let's carry on. Rightio, as you can see there, inside is now all welded. I'm trying not to get tram lines in the screen, so I'll have to stay in this position. I've got a piece of wood here which obviously is shielding the interior from getting any stray sparks in there or anything like that. So yeah, that's seam welded right the way around. Same procedure as before, with the doing sort of 3 or 4 welds, cooling it down and again and again. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that, considering I haven't ground that down or anything. It looks fairly neat. All I've done is give it a quick wire brush over to get any soot off so you can see the welds. And yeah, I'm happy with that. So next thing is to obviously grind it all down, get it all flat, and then we can obviously start some filler work. But it is about 9:30 at night now, and I don't think the neighbours are going to be too happy if I start grinding all these welds down now. So that is going to be a job for another day, I think. Right then, I think we'll call it a wrap for this video. We've done well here. We've got the front end back together, complete now, and it's not coming apart again, hopefully. We've now got the plate welded on the seal as well. We've done the gearbox mount, so we are well on track to getting this thing back on the road where it should be. Now, obviously I always say it, but thanks very much for watching. If you are new to my channel and you haven't seen any of my other videos, there's a playlist on the Puma. There's also a playlist on the Mark II Cavalier. There is my DeLorean video, and also my friend Dan's DeLorean engine swap video, and my 3-wheeled van, which is just behind the camera there, and also my friend Dan's 3-wheeled van now that we're going to be working on. So if you haven't already seen them, take a look, see what you think. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that little subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload a video. So if you want to join me for more automotive adventures, make sure you keep an eye out for the next episode. I'm not sure what it'll be yet, but I'll hopefully have another video out for you soon. I'll see you all soon, guys. Cheers.